Today on the spot, Brian and Sean get serious with Serious Sam HD, the first encounter on the Xbox 360. We catch you up on what's hitting the PlayStation Network this week, and if you haven't heard, GameSpot's Best of 2009 awards are right around the corner, and we'll show you a video with all the info. To top it all off, we'll announce last week's trivia winner and give away some cool stuff. Today on the spot.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Today on the Spot. Brian Eckberg here, Sean McInnes there. I am back in the office, dude.
Brian, it's been like a month. Where have you been,
man? It's been almost exactly a month since I took a nice little vacation, spent some time with the family, and I played a lot of video games too.
What'd you play?
I played Forza, I played Modern Warfare 2, and I played a little bit of Dragon Age. Well, actually a lot of Dragon Age.
A lot of Dragon. I heard you had a bit of a problem with that game.
Yes, and I actually brought a tape, so let's take a look at a tape of my Dragon Age Origins experience. All right, been pretty fun so far. Finally in the Dwarven City. Finally amassing my forces for the big fight against the Darkspawn. And Orzammar, well, it's no Ironforge, but it's not bad. Let's see what we have to do here. Warring factions, and I'm supposed to choose sides, which one I think should rule the dwarves. Well, frankly, I don't give a damn who rules the dwarves, but I guess I need them on my side. So I guess I'll go with Harrowmont first. Okay, I finished the proving. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I really don't know what's going on. Like, this is a little bit weird. All right, I'm going for Prince Balin now. Harrowmont is not to be trusted. It is time to return to Vartog in the Chamber of the Assembly to see if any progress has been made. Well, I've done that. I've talked to Vartog, and he refuses to speak to me because I've been supporting Prince Balin. And talked to this other dwarf. At some point, all of the dwarves are beginning to look alike to me. Who am I looking for? Oh, hey, there's a little icon. It's Doolin. Will you talk to me, Doolin?
I'll have nothing to say
to one of Balin's puppets. So he doesn't like me, Harrowmont's men don't like me, and basically I'm stuck in this godforsaken pit full of dwarves. Another thing about the dwarves, none of you sound like dwarves. That's what gets me. I'm looking for Scottish accents. I'm not hearing anything like that. This is the worst cast of dwarves I've ever heard in my life. So basically, Dragon Age, what you're telling me now is that I've completed both paths, but because I played them against each other, neither of them will talk to me, and therefore I can't get the Dwarven army on my side to fight the Darkspawn, therefore I'm stuck. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Congratulations, BioWare. You've done it. You've done it. You've stonewalled me from actually enjoying your game. Appreciate that. I'm gonna try one more time. I've been walking around this city for what seems like hours. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna talk to this guy in the proving one more time. And if he doesn't give me what I want, there's gonna be some dead dwarves on the ground. Listen, I've dedicated 25 hours of my life to you, Dragon Age, and right now, I hate you! You're like an ex-girlfriend that I can't even stand to think about! I hate you, Dragon Age, you son of a... God! God! Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how it went.
Oh man, the two things about that video. One, that's too bad about Dragon Age.
Yep.
But at least you had a nice warm Snuggie to make up for.
I was, that's actually a slanket.
That slanket?
Yes, okay. Let's get our terminology right. I was comfy and cozy. You know, I had my tea, my chamomile tea. I was very cozy.
Sleepy time herbal tea.
Yeah, but once I got to the Dwarven City, it was all downhill.
Oh, that's a shame. That game's so much fun.
One more reason I hate dwarves. Anyway, we've got a really great show for you today. Sean and I are going to be giving you a whole bunch of stuff. He and I are going to be playing Serious Sam HD, the first encounter for Xbox 360. That's going to be a lot of fun. But first, let's find out what's happening in the gaming industry. Tor Thorsten's here with the news.
Hey everyone, it's your GameSpot news update for Saturday, December 5th. I'm Tor Thorson. Yesterday, Take-Two Interactive issued a dismal earnings report which caused the company's stock to lose 30% of its value in a single day. The bad news doesn't stop there, though. The company also announced the long-awaited return of the landmark series Max Payne has been pushed back to the August-October quarter of 2010. Set for release on the PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3, Max Payne 3 is currently in the works at Rockstar Games' Vancouver studio, which took over development reins from Finnish studio Remedy, which is working on Alan Wake. The game will see the former New York police detective living in squalor in a Rio de Janeiro slum, having become overweight and gone bald. Details in the game's story are slim, but screenshots show the gun-fueled violent gameplay that the series is known for. In more welcome news, Take-Two also used the announcement to tease the prospect of a sequel to its best-selling action role-playing game, Borderlands. In a conference call with analysts, Chairman Strauss Zelnick praised the game, saying it shows every sign of becoming an important long-term franchise. Company president Ben Feder then announced that the 2K Games label has secured long-term publishing rights to Borderlands sequels. The Borderlands IP remains the property of its developer, Gearbox Software, which has also hinted at a sequel itself. For the moment, though, the suburban Dallas studio is focused on the pipeline of downloadable content for the first Borderlands, such as the just-released and well-reviewed Zombie Island of Dr. Ned. Well, that's it, your GameSpot news update for Saturday, December 5th. For more headlines like these, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
All right, thanks for that, Tor. Now, Sean, I heard last week we had a really cool demo coming from Sony, 3D Game Heroes, is that right?
Yeah, that's a PlayStation 3 exclusive. It basically takes an old school 8-bit Zelda-style game and then puts it in 3D with all these like super fancy cell processor graphics effects on it. The bad news is that exclusive is not out until May, but the good news is that there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out on PSN this week.
I think it's time to look at that stuff right now.
Let's do that.
Let's check out This Week on the PlayStation Network.
This week on the PlayStation Network. Starting out with the downloadable games. Originally launched in 2003, Call of Duty Classics is now available to download for $14.99. Let's just say it doesn't quite compare to Modern Warfare 2, but it's a classic and you can't go wrong with classics. Now relive the experience in HD, featuring new online multiplayer mode and leaderboard support. Two more classic games to relive this week in the PS1 Classics section. New this week for $5.99 is Command & Conquer Red Alert Retaliation. Take charge and utilize forbidden weapons and disavowed tactics in a no-holds-barred battle for supremacy. It's up to you to decide the ultimate fate of the conflict between the Allies and Soviets. Also available for $5.99 is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. The terrifying drama from the blockbuster Resident Evil series is filled with explosions, disasters, and only a few survivors. This unique adventure reveals a nightmarish plot and picks up just hours before the events of Resident Evil 2. Moving on to the demos. The demo version of Bayonetta is a cinematic, stylized action-adventure story in which Bayonetta, a reborn witch, will have to battle angels with unique witch-like abilities and guns equipped to her hands and feet. Look out for the insane finishing moves, which are performed with absolute grace as Bayonetta flows from one fight to another. If you're looking to take bloodiness to the next level, Fairy Tail Fights demo is definitely the demo you want to download. Placed into a white room, the Fairy Tail Fights demo revolves around slicing lumberjacks, gingerbread men, rabbits, wolves, mice, and other storybook characters into messy little pieces as gallons of blood spill on the ground. In the game add-on section this week, we got 4 new ones for Little Big Planet, featuring Assassin's Creed 2 costume, a Santa coat and trousers costume, along with a Santa hat and beard. Finally, a Festive Goodies level kit is also available too. Also new this week, Fight Night Round 4. Download the Champions Pack 2 for $9.99 and receive Evander Holyfield, Bernard Hopkins, Sonny Liston, and 2 brand new game modes, Ring Rivalries and Old School Rules. Wrapping up the add-on section, there is a Tekken 6 Samurai DLC pack, which is available for no cost at all. In the game video section this week, make sure to check out the new Gravity Crash tutorial video, giving you an in-depth look at the game with certain tips and information to help you out. Also showing off how it was made and the ideas the director of the team had when developing it. Also in the game video section is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, behind the scenes video 7. Sneak a peek and enjoy the exclusive interviews from the actual characters in the making of Uncharted 2. This week in the PSP downloadable games section, there were 3 new games available for download, including Super Pocket Tennis, Beta Block, and MX vs. ATV Reflex. Well, that's all the time we have this week. Be sure to check out GameSpot.com and PlayStation.com for a full list of items available for download this week on the PlayStation Network.
All right, well, that's what's happening on the PSN. It's demo time, Sean McKenna.
It is demo time.
It's time to play a game that he and I have been having a lot of fun with today. It's Serious Sam HD for Xbox 360, right?
The first encounter, the very first Serious Sam game, redone in glorious high definition.
Well, High definition.
Let's just call it high definition.
But we're playing this game co-op.
Co-op.
Yeah.
So that's a feature that's in this HD remix of the game. It's on the 360 version. You can do up to 4-player co-op. Oh, there's a bomb head right there. And yeah, you can do up to 4 players at once. And Serious Sam, anybody who'd never, ooh, ouch. I hope you're doing better than I am.
I'm doing okay. I've got my double-barreled shotgun, but so Serious Sam's been around for a long time.
Yeah, the original game came out in 2001, and back then it was a throwback to old school shooters.
Yeah.
Now it's 8 years later, and it's even more of a throwback to old school shooters. It's just like, ridiculously fast-paced.
Yep.
The guns are insane. Like
the levels are friggin' huge, but there's nothing to them.
Yeah,
they're like wide open courtyards.
The levels are massive. This is before anybody had any idea what like a cover system was.
This is the direct opposite of a cover system.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, enemies are ridiculous. You've got guys charging at you with no heads and bombs for hands.
And yelling.
Yelling, just like screaming at the top of their lungs. You've got guys who are basically made of bones.
Yep.
You've got bulls charging at you. You've got lava demons.
Yep, lava demons. You've got forearm monstrosities. And the weapons are awesome too.
Yeah, the weapons are wonderful. Oh, we started here with a fairly limited selection of weapons. We've got like a number of shotguns, dual-wield pistols. Later in the game, you can get to like, basically, you can get like a Gatling gun, you can get a minigun, you can get a cannonball gun, you can get a laser gun, rocket launcher, grenade launcher. It's pretty ridiculous.
Did you mention the cannonball?
I did mention the cannon.
Yeah.
Oh, I picked up a.
Here's the bulls. These guys are tough because they just they run straight at you.
The bulls are wonderful. I love the bulls. And so Serious Sam has a story, but it's a story that you would put in like quotation marks.
It's a story like a James Patterson novel.
Right.
It's not really there, even though you're reading it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so much fun. It's just ridiculous, over the top, and it's like a total throwback game.
Yeah. And one of the things this game was surprising when it first came out back in 2001 was how many enemies it would throw at you. There's segments in this game where you're literally overwhelmed by enemies, but it's in a good way. I'm gonna run up to get the cannon.
Oh, nice.
The cannonball weapon.
Pick up that cannon.
Something bad's gonna happen.
You just did everybody a favor here by displaying the wonder of that cannon.
Okay, the cannon. Here comes the cannon. I can shoot it, and guess what it does?
So, nice. I just picked up. Wait, no, I got charged by a bull. So this obviously a game that debuted on the PC, and you have a bit more accuracy with the mouse pointer on that system. And it had sort of like a snappy targeting on the original game, and that's been carried over to this one, which is a godsend because like there's so many enemies and it's so fast-paced that all you have to do is sort of like provide a general ballpark figure of where you'd like your gun to be aimed.
Yeah.
And the game will take care of the rest for you.
You can basically snipe with a rocket launcher just by pointing in the general vicinity.
Yeah.
You know?
You're gonna have like a big scorpion demon like camping on top of a giant pyramid like a mile away, and you point your rocket launcher and you can take care of that guy.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, but
it is ridiculous.
It's satisfying.
It's just super fun. It's relentless too. You'll get to areas where like you'll cross this threshold right here where I am into this big open courtyard, and you're like, oh hey, it's a giant open courtyard. What could possibly happen right now? And
it looks like the Forbidden City.
It is the Forbidden City, except with like bonesies charging at you constantly. And so in a second here, we're about to be just inundated with enemies, just charging at us from every direction.
Yeah, you can kind of see them flashing up there on screen about a mile away.
Oh yeah,
there's some bonesies.
There's some bonies, and they just come at you in huge waves.
Oh,
bomb hand guy coming at us. And so yeah, it's totally old school, mindless fun. It is. I believe the HD remake is out now on PC. It is coming out in January on Xbox 360 for Xbox Live Arcade.
And have they announced the price yet?
I believe so. That is going to be $15.
Okay.
And it supports 4-player co-op, and as much fun as it is single player, it's even more fun when you have another buddy. and you can just like relish in all the insanity with a friend.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I know we could play this game for the rest of the day, but we've got a show. We've got more show to get to.
I don't care about that. I'm going to continue playing this game for the rest of the day.
You continue playing. Meanwhile, we're going to take a look at our Game of the Year. Those awards are coming really soon. Let's take a look at just a teaser of GameSpot's 2009 Game of the Year awards.
2009 has been an amazing year for video games of all sorts. Big budget blockbusters, innovative independent and downloadable games alike. GameSpot's Best of 2009 awards will showcase the absolute best and the absolute worst games of the year. What were the top games for platforms like the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, the Wii, the PC, the DS, and the PSP? What were the best action, fighting, racing, shooting, and strategy games? What were the funniest, most memorable, and most well-written games? What were the most disappointing and the flat-out worst games? And which game will garner the most votes from all of you and receive the Reader's Choice Awards? Get all the answers, plus a recap of the year's biggest news items in GameSpot's Best of 2009 awards.
All right, so there you go. That's a quick teaser look at our Game of the Year awards, and they're coming up very soon. Sean, that is one of my favorite times of year when we all get together and just hash it out.
We hash it out, we argue, friends become enemies, enemies become friends, but silver lining, there's pizza involved.
There's lots of pizza involved, and we have maybe our final Game of the Year meeting tonight. Hopefully it'll all be hashed out tonight, and you guys will see those awards in just a couple of weeks. Let's give away our trivia first before we get to the question and what we're giving away next week. Let's talk about who won the prize from last week.
Yeah.
Liz Zaridia, I hope I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. From Windsor, Ontario, Canada, won a copy of Raymond Benson's Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty for answering a question that had to do with Metal Gear Solid 2. She named all the bosses in the game and won a copy of this pretty cool book. Let's talk about today's trivia question. You guys are going to have a chance to win one of 10 download keys for Comet Crash for PlayStation 3 if you know the answer to this question. What is the maximum number of units Comet Crash can squeeze onto the screen at once? Sean, you have a guess?
Hojillions.
Hojillion. No, it's not hojillion, but it's somewhere between 1 and a hojillion.
Okay.
So just to narrow it down a little bit. If you guys think you know the answer to that question, fill out the trivia module. You have a shot at winning one of 10 download keys for the game when it comes out. And we have a sneak peek at what's coming next week, right?
This is a book that we're giving away on next week's show. So this is called World of Warcraft and Philosophy, Wrath of the Philosopher King. It basically takes WoW and tries to extrapolate a whole bunch of political theory from it, or philosophical theory.
Yes.
Such chapter titles as Can Gnomes Break the Laws of Physics? And Do Goblin Engineers Follow the Rules of Mathematics?
That sounds fantastic.
I would actually really like to read this book.
Well, maybe you'll have a chance at winning it. But no, you work here, you can't win it. But you guys out there will have a chance at winning World of Warcraft and Philosophy next week when we give it away. Sean, it's been the entire gamut today. We've gone from like literature and philosophy to like Serious Sam.
To Serious Sam, we talked about Snuggies, we talked about dwarves, we talked about dragons, we talked about everything in between.
Yeah, and everything I thought about. I can't even mention half of that stuff. Anyway, it's been a great show. Sean, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Brian, it's great to have you back.
Awesome. And we will see you guys next week for another episode of Today on the Spot.
Brian, it's good to have you back. We were desperate for a while. For about 2 weeks there, we had the janitor hosting the show.
Yeah.
He has a lot of charm and charisma, but it's not for him.
Yeah, it's not for him, but that's okay. I'm sure he doesn't stammer his way through the show like I do sometimes.
Yep, I'm completely f***ing incompetent. That's right.